Stop blaming your genetics. They're not the problem, your habits are. That's why weight loss is not losing. It's just staying there because you're blaming your genetics instead of changing these habits, which I'll get right into. But firstly, metabolism is not fixed, it's adaptive, meaning it responds to long-term patterns of different types of intake, stress, recovery. So when your body senses low or inconsistent energy for sustained periods of time, it reduces output to conserve resources because it's smart, thinks it's in survival mode. And this includes things like reduced NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. If you want to know more about that, check out my other videos, hormonal shifts, things like that. And you know you have low metabolism, or rather your metabolism isn't functioning at the level it can. If you're always saying things like, I can't lose weight, I'm always thinking about food, constantly hungry, cold, you lose some weight and it just flatlines, and this video is for you. Make sure you watch all of it because it's super, super important. So firstly, why does your metabolism stall? It's because your body becomes really good at eating less, which some people, like that's how some people in the like jungles or deserts or whatever after crashes can survive for so long, because their body goes into survival mode. It basically goes, oh my God, I need to keep everything together. I need to keep myself safe. And this is exactly what your body does when you do the habits I'm going to be talking about. So firstly, you need to make sure your body is not fighting for survival, because when this happens, your hunger hormones increase like ghrelin, which then slows fat loss, your energy drops, your food thoughts increase, and most people end up eating even more less, which then deepens the adaptation, which just becomes this vicious cycle of eat less, lose less, eat less, lose less, and sometime in between you're probably eating more because you feel guilty. So let's take a look at what habits are jeopardizing you and how you can fix them. The first one is chronically low intake of carbs. Now I know this whole low carb, high protein diet's trending, but it's really not helping you, because yes, protein's important, don't think I'm not saying that. But eating carbs is also important because guess what controls your, or rather supports your thyroid function? Carbs. Carbs impact our friends T3 and T4 hormones, which impact your metabolic rate, impact your cells, energy production, things like that. And by eating a ridiculously low amount of carbs, this disrupts your hormone output, making it less efficient, and therefore you have less energy, and therefore your metabolism stalls. So it's important to get a good amount of carbs. I'm not saying go ridiculous. I'm not saying have very, very little either. Have a reasonable amount that supports you. The second one is believing your metabolism is broken or genetically doomed. Yes, we talked about this at the beginning, and yes, genetics do impact metabolism, but it's not the be all end all, and metabolism is malleable. And I can say this because I'm someone who does not have amazing metabolism, like naturally, in the sense that I know people have family and friends who are they're just like their natural body type is very thin. That's not me. And when I started making changes, that's when my metabolism improved and I started losing weight and not being stuck in that cycle. So do not have that in your mind that you are genetically broken and that your metabolism's fixed, because it is not. The next one is assuming eating less always leads to more weight loss. As we talked about this before, plateaus do not mean that you're eating too much. Plateaus mean that you need to make a change in terms of actually eating more, like eating more healthy fats, more protein, or things like that, and not reducing even more, because that's just going to put you into survival mode. And the last one is blaming your body instead of habits that are driving the response. So playing the blame game, like it's very simple. If you keep saying to your body, hey you're ruining me, then yes, your body's gonna be like, okay, if I'm ruining you, sure, I will continue doing that. So it's a mental thing. It's not just physical, it's also mental. If you have a good relationship with your body, you will make mountains move, well, in terms of your body. So it's really important to have that good relationship and cultivate that. So how do you improve your metabolism then? The first one is consistent energy intake day to day. What this means is, think of it like dating your health. You're dating yourself, right? And you know how there's 5 love languages? The first one is showering in nutrients as a form of affection, exercise for your body as a act of service, positive thoughts as words of affirmations, giving yourself grace, as in being kind to yourself, as gifts, and reflecting as quality time. So those are your 5 ways you can love your health, date yourself. And I think that's really important. It sounds a bit foreign, sounds a bit weird, but you know what? It works. It works because it worked for me. The next one is adequate carb intake to support hormones and your thyroid function. So you should be eating good fats, you should be eating protein, and you should also be eating a good amount of whole food carbs. So when I say carbs, I don't mean pizzas and cakes and whatevers. Think fruits, whole grain bread, beans, things like that. Those are good for you. Those are carbs that actually support you. Another one is prioritizing sleep and stress reduction. This one's for me just as much as it is for you, because trying to get a regular sleep pattern in, trying to reduce your stress when the world's like in your face all the time, it can be hard, but something you should try to cultivate. And the last one is allowing time for metabolism to adapt upwards again. This is where the love language of gifting comes in, giving yourself the gift of grace. Be kind to yourself, because it will get there. I assure you. I give you a 99% guarantee. The 1% is because there's always terms and conditions and exceptions. So this is the main way to improve your metabolism. You're not the fault, your habits are. And your habits are malleable, so do not worry. You got this. And if you're looking for some help, my company called Nourish, we provide generalized and tailored meal plans. With the generalized meal plans, you only have to cook for 3 days, but those meals last you for an entire week. There's also shopping lists provided, and it's just very simple, easy food. And if you're looking for a more personal touch, I'm also a certified nutritionist and health and wellness coach. So send me an email, DM, check my website, and yeah, happy to help. If you have any questions, comments, queries, let me know in the comments below. And wishing you a happy digestive system. Until the next one.